The first month of the NPLW Victoria season is in the rearview mirror. All 12 teams settling in now for the long haul as the autumn season begins to take hold. It's a match day 5, Friday night battle between two sides that bring identical records through to match day 5. The Bentleigh Greens, they are returning home after a 1-0 loss at Wembley Park last week to Box Hill United. And the promoted side, Spring Hills, making the long road trip from Caroline Springs to Cheltenham for the first time, eager to atone for that 2-0 loss at home against Burundurra on match day 4. Brent Sternberg is my name, ready to roll at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex in Cheltenham on this Friday evening on the NPLW Victoria YouTube channel. That's where you're watching and listening and tuning in from around the place. It's the first league meeting between Bentleigh and Spring Hills to cut the tape on match day 5. Here's how they line up then. Bentleigh make 2 changes from the side that lost at Wembley Park last week. Belinda Stachevsky and Coco Parker go back to the bench. In come Karina Tolios and Anna Liakopoulos, who makes her first start of the season, her 50th in the NPLW Victoria. So Taylor Murphy in goal. A back four of Ali Torre, Regan Bridges, Anna Liakopoulos and Ash Lefebvre. The 2 holding midfielders, Caitlin Storey and Daniel DePetta. The captain, Sydney Allen, will start in front of those 2 with Karina Tolios and Amanda Stevenson on the wings. And Delaney Kenny will lead the line. Tom Markovski's made 3 changes from his Spring Hills side that lost at home to Burundurra last week. Emily Tanaka, Rachel Gillies and Sophie Papalia all go back to the bench. Mona Ensor and Bella Stringfellow come back into the starting 11, and it's the first start for Hayley Spizzato. Jenna Ibrahim in goal for the visitors tonight. It's a back four of Emily Girolamo, Natasha Dakic, Yakina Tamamura and Isabella Stringfellow. We think it'll be a 4-3-3 with the 3 midfielders being Jacinta Tanate Crook, Iri Yamashita and the captain and champion Alexandra Sinclair. Olivia Anderson will lead the line, flanked by Holly Spizzato making her first appearance of the season and the returning Mona Ensor. Might keep an eye on the formation for Spring Hills. They have named 5 defenders. Is there a potential that they may play a back 3 tonight, Tom Markovski's side? It's the opening fixture of match day 5. Bentleigh will be in the customary home green kits and Spring Hills in their away kits this evening. The lovely pink shirts and socks and the pink shorts. It is the only Friday night clash of the NPLW Victoria this week. The rest of the top division games will all take place tomorrow. In fact, we have 4 tomorrow and then 1 on Sunday. It will be Spring Hills, the ladies from the western suburbs, to kick us off. They will be going from left to right in this first half, and Bentleigh naturally from right to left. 2 teams that have been slow out of the gates, and they are mired towards the bottom of the table through the first month of the NPLW Victoria season. Both sides, as I mentioned, with identical records. And those records being 1 win, 1 draw and 2 losses. It's Bentleigh with an opportunity here to push forward. This is Amanda Stevenson retreating. Regan Bridges, who scored from the penalty spot when Bentleigh were at home 2 weeks ago. A 1-0 victory over Brunswick Juventus. You might be watching at home on the NPLW Victoria YouTube channel, enjoying a new camera angle. We're under the grandstand here. Our cameraman James and myself. And we get a good view of all the action and having a look at everything going on in the club function centre over the other side. Here is Holly Spizzato coming together in midfield. It's well won there by Tanate Crook, who's been playing at left back this season for Spring Hills, but looks like she's pushed a little bit further afield. Alexandra Sinclair and back for Tamamura. A lovely turn from Caitlin Storey. Here's Sydney Allen. Come on from the bench 2 weeks ago when Bentleigh were at home. Can't thread that ball through for Amanda Stevenson. Torre. Stringfellow and Kenny threatening with the touchline on the outer side there. Our officials this evening, we'll introduce them to you. In the middle, we've got Gabrielle McCoy. Manning the touchlines, Josh Berry and Emma Borshman. It's cleared away by Natasha Dakic. The fourth official down below us is Jonah Malaki. Oh, Allen with a tidy back heel. Looking for Caitlin Storey. Bentleigh last week, that loss away from home to Box Hill United. It was only 1-0, but they were very lucky, Bentleigh, not to have lost that match by a heavier scoreline. That was a match in which Box Hill had 28 shots on goal, 7 of them on target. Bentleigh, to be fair, were a lot better in the second half. Storey. And Torre, who can whip in across. Can't get it into the dangerous area. It's far too close to the Spring Hills goalkeeper, Jenna Ibrahim. There may come a time tonight where I do incorrectly refer to Spring Hills as Caroline Springs. That is the suburb that they are based. They're playing in the artificial turfs there in the western suburbs of Melbourne. Here's Sydney Allen, who has been prominent early. She's allowed to roam, eventually closed down by the white shirts. Tepeta, Kenny, fizzing it across the goal mouth and behind for a goal kick. Been an energetic start for the Greens. Look like they may have even started with a 4-4-2 formation here. It looks like they've got a strike partnership of Amanda Stevenson and Delaney Kenny, because Kenny's already scored 2 goals this season, her first year here playing for the Bentleigh Greens, the American. Well, Bridges can't quite clear it. Throw in for Bentleigh adjacent to the 18-yard box in that match against Box Hill. They only had 4 total shots, 2 of them on target, all of those coming in the second half. To the byline, Torre, not a bad cross. And it was almost a cross-come shot, but it's just fizzed across the Stallions' goal mouth. And a goal kick for Jenna Ibrahim, making her 5th consecutive start for the Stallions in goal. They're eager to get a win tonight. Spring Hills, obviously, and Jenna's keen to keep her first clean sheet of the season. A long ball for Holly Sposado to chase. Emily Girolamo with the throw in. Just gets past Sposado. Played most of her football last season for Spring Hills in the reserves. Sinclair's ball to the fringes of the 18-yard box. Banged away by Kenny. Oh, Stevenson just lost it for a moment. Ash Lefebvre called into action for the Greens. Plays it out off Holly Sposado and out of play. And Holly's a 17-year-old. 1 goal in 8 senior appearances last season, but did some terrific work in the reserves. As Torre and Tanate Crook are going shoulder to shoulder here. Torre, far more experienced player, wins the day. Sposado with 24 goals in 15 appearances in the reserves for Spring Hills last season. Of course, Spring Hills were in the 2nd division last year, winning the championship and earning promotion into the top flight of women's football in Victoria for the first time. Yamashita. String follow. Players suspect that the ball's gone out of play, and indeed it has. Possession arrow stays with the girls in the white. Yamashita managing to keep it in. And has she drawn the foul? She has. In the corner on the far side there. Gets up asking for a little bit more than a foul. That was Alexandra Sinclair, in fact, on the far side. And here's an early moment of promise for Spring Hills. Don't have a hell of a lot of support in the crowd this evening. Here's a long trip. Sinclair swings it in towards the near post, and it's come up the Bentleigh defender and into the net. And it's a wonderful start for Spring Hills on the road. They strike early, an unfortunate own goal from the Bentleigh Greens. And the Stallions spring a surprise in Cheltenham. It's 1-0 to the away side after barely 8 minutes. Well, a perfect start away from home. Well, they have scored 4 goals now, 5 goals this season. Spring Hills in their 4 games. That's one more than Bentleigh's 3. Spring Hills are somewhat surprisingly in front, and in front early. These two teams coming into match day 5 in 8th position and 9th position respectively. That is Bentleigh in 8th and Spring Hills in 9th. Bentleigh probably return home tonight as slight favourites. But a wonderful delivery from Alexandra Sinclair. Wasn't able to find the head of a teammate, but Bentleigh had about 3 defenders there at the near post who all got a little bit tangled up. Not entirely sure who the last touch come off, but when it's an own goal, it doesn't really matter. Sinclair is adjudged to have fouled the Bentleigh player. Regan Bridges turning back for Anna Larkopoulos, who was in the NPLW Team of the Year last year. Long ball forward. Gerolimo's defensive header. And Tamamura plays it to the relative safety of the crowd. Started sprightly here, Spring Hills. Sposado closed down well by DePetta. Just when we mentioned that they were energetic in the early minutes, Bentleigh, they find themselves behind. Larkopoulos out for Ellie Torre, former Heidelberg United and Brunswick Juventus player. They were the 2 teams that she spent time with last season. Very experienced player, as I alluded to a moment ago. This is appearance number 166 in the top division of Victorian football here. We might have had a change in our officials because that's definitely not Gabrielle McCoy in the middle. And the ball hit a moment ago, so we start with the drop ball. I think that might be Josh Berry out in the middle. We love it when the officials spring a late surprise. Here's Sydney Allen with her back to goal. Bentleigh captain wriggles herself clear. Still going, Sydney Allen. And well, I was going to say eventually the white shirts overwhelm her, but it's brought back for a foul. And perhaps a chance for the home side to conjure something from the set piece. Sydney Allen, generally the designated set-piece taker, certainly from free kicks for Bentleigh. And joined from Alamein in the off-season. She's scored many goals, 48 in her 106 appearances. This is appearance number 107. And the captain for Bentleigh weave some magic here. Some late signals from the skipper, Sydney Allen, searching for that far post. Well, more to the point, the near post, and it just wasn't tipping in time. Jenna Ibrahim seeing it comfortably over and behind. Only 2 goals away, Sydney Allen, from the 50-goal milestone. He spent the team of the year last year. Girolamo's heavy touch, Stevenson. Girolamo forced to turn it out of play. Storey. Tolios lurking. To Peta. And Torre might retreat all the way back here to Lyakopoulos. Spring Hills in their 2-0 loss to Burundara last week. The Eagles with 12 shots, 8 of them on target. Only 2 found the back of the net. It's Bentleigh retreat all the way back here to Taylor Murphy. In gold, bold gold tonight. The Spring Hills only had 4 shots on target themselves last week, just 1 on target. Weren't able to find the back of the net. And the results so far this season, Spring Hills, a 1-1 draw with Preston on match day 1. That was their first ever match in the top division, of course. The following week, they lost to Bulleen 1-0. And then that 3-1 win over Essendon Royals, their first ever win in the top division. And then last week, the 2-0 loss to Burundara. Storey is boxed in. Emily Girolamo, who's had a good start to the season at right back for the Stallions. 19-year-old, turned 19 last month. It's her first season for Spring Hills. She joined from Geelong Galaxy over the summer. Olivia Anderson getting involved in the action there. This is Yukina Tamamura, one of a couple of Japanese players that Spring Hills have had playing for them the past few seasons. Oh, they've come a little bit unstuck trying to play out from the back. The away side. It's been a good response from Bentleigh after conceding an early own goal. Well, that might be a handball against Amanda Stevenson. No, referee allowing them to play on. Anderson. Back for Ibrahim, who can't take any chances with Sydney Allen bearing down the tracks. Awkward contest there for Lyakopoulos. Eventually gets her foot on the ball. Goes searching for Amanda Stevenson. Ends up with Storey, who is very disappointed in herself after that pass. Puts her hands up apologetically. Spring Hills Victorian Premier League Women's champions last season, but they've been on a steady incline up through the pyramid here in Victoria. They're only a relatively new club, a club that was established in 2006, but their women's side was only established in 2016, as was Bentleigh's, established initially as Bayside United, and second season now under the Bentleigh Greens moniker. And Sinclair bumped off. That's good work in midfield by Daniela Tepeta. They started their life, Spring Hills, in the State League Division 4 West in 2016. Finished second on the table and won instant promotion. In 2017 and 2018, they were in the State League Division 3 West. There's some nervy moments at the back here. Dakic and Tamamura and Girolamo. Dakic up the line for Sinclair. Sinclair eventually finds Anderson, who takes it away from Lefebvre. Oh, on the outside of the boot. And then a bit of a mix-up between Torre and Lyakopoulos. Oh, Stringfellow and Tamamura tangle one another up. Kenny's running at the Spring Hill's defence. Delaney Kenny bangs it in towards the back post. It was a little wild and a little woolly and a little errant. And it's behind harmlessly for a goal kick. Spring Hills 2017-2018 in the State League Division 3 West. They were champions at the end of the 2018 season and promoted. In 2019, the last year before COVID, they were in the State League Division 2 Northwest. And again, champions and promoted. So back-to-back championships, back-to-back promotions. The first couple of years out the other side of COVID, they were in the State League Division 1 Northwest. 2022 they finished third, and that was good enough to be promoted. As Bentleigh are going backwards here. Lefebvre's had enough. Forward for Storey. DePetta. Allen. Been involved in everything going forward so far for the Greens. Stevenson. Tolios. Looking around for support. Zigging and zagging, and eventually has to retreat to Regan Bridges. A long diagonal for Torre and Stringfellow. Torre rifles it into the 18-yard box. It cannons out off Yukina Tamamura and behind for the game's first corner kick. Might finish up that conversation on Spring Hills in just a moment. 18.5 minutes gone here at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. Bentleigh 0, Spring Hills 1, but Bentleigh pressing. Right-footed out swinger, it's a low ball. DePetta! Could not have hit it much better, but it wouldn't quite come down in time. And that goes down as another good opportunity for Bentleigh, one from the training pitch. Worth keeping in mind that Bentleigh, talk about coming from the training pitches. Their training pitches here just behind the pavilion in the background are artificial. And they do play on the main pitch here on real grass. Storey copping one to the solar plexus, but she's recovering quickly. Ball into the 18-yard box for Kenny, who couldn't control it. I think it was just a little bit too high for her to get her boot around. It was more at knee level. And incredibly, we're just about 20 minutes into the match. Bentleigh have been much the better team, and yet they are behind. If you joined us late, it was an own goal in the 8th minute for Spring Hills. Spring Hills in the grand final last year in the VPLW. It was a 97th minute winner to defeat Keilor Park. They come so close in 2023 to earning promotion. There's a foul going the way of the ladies in the white and pink. And a real credit to Tom Markovsky and everybody at this football club investing in the women's program, climbing the ranks. Prior to the season, Tom Markovsky spoke about the fact that they don't just want to make up the numbers in the top division. They want to play good football. They don't want to take a backward step, and they want to prove to everybody that they belong in the top flight. And their ambition is to stay in the top flight. Of course, they are the only promoted side from last season in the top division after the Casey Comets had some problems and weren't able to field a side this year, sadly. First ever trip to Kingston Heath Soccer Complex for Spring Hills, and it started well. DePetta. Lykopoulos. Again, keen to go with the long ball. Designed, I think, for Stevenson. Ibrahim races out in the black and pink get-up tonight. 24-year-old Jenna Ibrahim. It's her 5th season at Spring Hills. She come over from Calder United at the end of 2019. One of the small handful of Spring Hills players who actually does have top division experience. Coming into the season, that is. There are a lot of young ladies who are making their way in this team and in the top flight for the first time. Here goes Sydney Allen. Obviously no stranger to the top division. Trying to turn her way out of trouble. The pass has just gone beyond Amanda Stevenson. Played away by Emily Girolamo. To Peta. And that's good defending in midfield there by Holly Sposato. He looks like she's started up front as a lone striker. They're rocking the 4-2-3-1. Certainly when not in possession, Spring Hills, and they're not now because they've turned it right back. And Ash Lefebvre, speaking of right back, gives it right back to the Spring Hills right back at Girolamo, who's just ushered over the touchline and out by Amanda Stevenson. Mona Ensor for Dakic. Nonchalant. Lefebvre. Allen. Oh, you can see what she was trying to do. It's well played by Tamamura not to let Sydney Allen turn. Dakic. Sposato. Dakic has rolled forward. And the ball's just going to roll away from her tantalisingly. And out of bounds. Out of play, I should say. Bentleigh still going in search of that equalising goal. They would have been so disappointed to concede early on, especially in the manner that they did. You never feel good about scoring an own goal. And this is a game that both teams coming into the season probably would have circled as an opportunity to win. Hasn't been the easiest of starts for Spring Hills. With the fixturing, as I mentioned, they played Preston, who were runners-up in both the grand final and the cup last year, and then Bulleen, who are always tricky opponents. And Essendon Royals, who were a promoted side themselves last season, but made finals. And Burundurra, who are a strong outfit as well. Bentleigh drew 1-1 with South Melbourne on match day 1. They lost to Heidelberg United 2-1 here the following week. Beat Brunswick Juventus 1-0 a fortnight ago. That was a match that very easily could have been a 2 or 3-0 win. It was a match that Brunswick Juventus, Bentleigh limited the Brunswick Juventus side to 0 shots on goal. Not shots on target, shots on goal. Torre for Allen. That's a nice pass for Delaney Kenny, who's gotten herself to the byline. The cutback goes right across the 18-yard box. Eventually it's flagged down by Tolios, who's keen to get the ball back into the 18-yard box. It's deflected and eventually turned away by Bella Stringfellow. One of those players that has top flight experience, come over from Box Hill United. She was subbed off last week, Bella Stringfellow, after just 30 minutes. Obviously, with the benefit of hindsight, we now know that that must have been a tactical lever that was pulled by Tom Markovsky, because she's right to go tonight, of course. Anderson, Sinclair, Girolamo just launches it forward. Tanate Crook, was she brought down? She was. The referee just wanted to see if the play was going to develop into some kind of advantage for the Stallions before blowing the whistle. And eventually he couldn't resist. Free kick for Spring Hills, taken by Natasha Dakic. Lofts it in towards the back post, where Alexandra Sinclair has been called for a foul, or she might have strayed offside even. On the bench for Bentleigh this evening, there's still no Rebecca Saber, who was maybe their headline off-season acquisition. I did see her pre-game getting around with her right ankle heavily strapped and on crutches. I'd imagine she's not going to be returning to the starting 11 anytime soon. Isabella Fernandez, Emily Keppens, Coco Parker, who did start last week, Renee Sofronides and Belinda Stachevsky. There's some good attacking options there for Ange Kutis to use if he should need them. The reserve goalkeeper is Taylor Wolfe. They are the Bentleigh players on the bench tonight. So we've got the first yellow card of the evening coming out for Delaney Kenny, who looks a little bit bemused as she turns and walks away. It's only the third yellow card that they've picked up this season, Bentleigh. The first for the American. We'll introduce you to the Spring Hills players on the bench in just a moment. Here's Yamashita, Dakic, Girolamo. And we just dilly-dallied on the ball a moment too long, and eventually it's a throw in for the Greens. Spring Hills have Nikki Bozanovsky, Julia Budjongo, a former Bentleigh player, on the bench. Rachel Gillies, Emily Tanaka, who has been a staple in the starting 11 so far this season, but tonight starts from the bench, and Sophie Papalia, who has also been in Tom Markovsky's starting 11 this season. Here comes Tamamura from out of the back four. Skipped past a couple, but couldn't get past Karina Tolios. Dakic, once again, going on an adventure forward. Throw in on the far side. Half an hour go on at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex in the southeastern suburb of Cheltenham. Bentleigh Greens 0, Spring Hills 1. An 8th minute own goal for Spring Hills. That's what separates the two at the moment. It's been the first half where Bentleigh have looked the better team for the most part. Long ball for Amanda Stevenson, who strayed offside. The reserve goalkeeper, by the way, for Spring Hills is Abigail Ware. Tanate Crook sliding a nice ball forward. Just misses Spazzato. It looks like she's swapped flanks. Playing on the left side after starting on the right. Bentleigh win possession. Tepeta gives chase. That one's going to stay in, so Tamamura has to stick to the task. And it does it well. She was getting instructions from her teammates to retreat for the goalkeeper. Instead, the pass into midfield for Yamashita. And now out for Olivia Anderson, who does well to get past Lefebvre. Sinclair. This is a nice build-up play from Spring Hills, although Sinclair's pass is just a little overcooked for Holly Spazzato. Alexandra Sinclair, her third season at Spring Hills. Former Calder United player and, of course, a known commodity here in Victoria. 97, 98 now, appearances in the top flight. 60 goals, was a part of Western United's inaugural side in the A-League Women's 3 or 4 years ago now, 2022-2023 season. Where's Ash Lefebvre going here? All the way back for Bridges. They're boxing themselves in here, Bentleigh. It's good pressing from Spring Hills, and do they earn themselves a throw-in? Even better, a corner kick. And the first of the night for the away side. Bentleigh on high alert. They have conceded a couple of goals already this season from corner kicks. And the first goal they conceded tonight was from a set piece that was effectively a corner kick. That was a free kick that was taken from right near the corner flag. Yamashita with a right-footed, well, not quite an outswinger. It goes low into the near post. Spossato can't lay it off. Bentleigh maybe a chance to spring forward. Here's Sydney Allen being watched closely and then eventually dispossessed by Stringfellow. A kind ricochet here for Anderson and Lefebvre. What a battle that's been in the first half. Stringfellow, Anderson stayed on side. Lefebvre up the line looking for Allen. Girolamu's header. Bridges back for Allen. Worked on for Kenny, who has a little bit of space to utilise here. Plays it forward looking for Stevenson, but timely interception by Yukino Tamamiro, who sets Jacinta Tanate Crook on her way. She eventually comes a cropper. And coming back the other way is Ali Torre. And again, Yamashita this time in the road for Spring Hills. Girolamo. Anderson back on this right side now for the Stallions. Good work by Tapeta to see that one away from the dangerous Alexandra Sinclair. Daniela Tapeta started every match now for Bentleigh this season. Another one who joined them from Alamein. Cleared away by another former Alamein player in Ash Lefebvre. But here is Nat Dakic. Sinclair. Closed down quickly. Just got the ball stuck on the near touchline for the time being. Ash Lefebvre, out of frustration, resorted to go backwards with the throw-in. More Tapeta. Bridges, Lefebvre. Here Spring Hills go again with the high pressing, and it's Sinclair to win it back. Terrific, tenacious play from the girls from Caroline Springs. Ensor can't slice the pass through for an attacker. Bridges back for Taylor Murphy. Just the one clean sheet so far this season for the Bentleigh goalkeeper in that win over Brunswick Juventus a fortnight ago that I mentioned earlier. She had a very quiet night that night, Taylor Murphy. Brunswick Juve not managing a shot on goal. Another one coming over from Alamein, where she made, I should say she started every game for Alamein last season in the league. She only kept one clean sheet all of last season as well. Playing for the girls from Dorothy Lather Reserve. She's already equalled her tally from last season. There's a foul here going the way of Bentleigh. Obviously she won't be keeping a clean sheet tonight, Taylor Murphy. That reality was scuttled after just 8 minutes. Bentleigh haven't let that early goal concern them too much. They've played some nice football. They've had some decent opportunities on goal. I wouldn't say they've had a gilt-edged opportunity just yet. They only scored 21 goals last season, Bentleigh, in the top flight. That was the most of any side. Average of less than 1 goal a game. And that's why they brought in Rebecca Saber. And of course, they're going to be without her for the next few weeks and even months, potentially, as it's one back in midfield here by Sydney Allen, who's just trying to do everything herself here, nicking it through for Stevenson, but just in the nick of time. Emily Girolamo plays it away. Ash Lefebvre comes up to take the throw in adjacent to the 18-yard box. Tolios back for Lefebvre. Tolios. Oh, now did the goalkeeper glove that one? She did. Bit of a mistake there from Jenna Ibrahim. Well, she turns to the referee and, well, I think she's just trying to keep up the charade there, Jenna Ibrahim, but it certainly looked like she gloved it, and Bentleigh have a bit of a gift. A corner kick. And anytime you allow Sydney Allen to put the ball into the box like this, you're asking for trouble. Allen floated in towards the back post. Not quite cleared. And Kenny was slipping as she was unwinding for a shot, and eventually it is cleared by Spring Hills. Torre with the throw in. Storey. Come off the defender last. No. Goal kick, Bentleigh. Spring Hills last season, when scoring first, did not lose. 16 times they scored the first goal, 16 times they won. Now it's time for Bentleigh to turn the screw. Tolios, a squaring pass for Storey. First touch let her down a little bit, and they concede possession. Here comes Bella Stringfellow, showed a little bit too much to Petter. Of course, they scored a ton of goals in the VPLW last season. Spring Hills on their way to the championship. If the VPLW final table is to be believed, Spring Hills were credited with 96 goals in a season in which they didn't even play every game. There were a small handful of matches that were forfeited. Of course, a forfeit is an automatic 3-0 win for the opposition, the non-forfeiting team, if that makes any sense. But of course, those 3 goals don't count to the goals for tally. Into the final 5 minutes of the first half here. Mona Ensor just dropping into a defensive position. They will be absolutely delighted, Spring Hills, to take this lead into half-time if that is to come to pass. And outside of that own goal that Bentleigh put into their own net, haven't really created a chance on goal. Girolamo. Torre's header is going to be vacuumed up by Tanate Crook, who saw the run of Stringfellow, didn't quite find Ertz. Good second effort from Tanate Crook, but eventually hoofed downfield by Liakopoulos. Both teams have been guilty at times in this first half of not being able to get their foot on the ball and really control possession. There's been plenty of midfield turnovers. Ensor. Dakic. Lofting it forward. It's a nice pass. It's going to connect with Anderson. who's got Pizzardo in the 18-yard box. And Anderson plays it out off Ash Lefebvre and behind for another corner kick for Spring Hills. And it's batten down the hatches time once again for Ange Kudas's Bentleigh Greens. And this would be a demoralising time to concede a second, just minutes from half-time. So Yamashita, I believe this is, to take the set piece. Last corner went short to the near post. Do they put this one into the mix? They do. Into the back post. It's too tall for Sinclair, and it's gone beyond Tamamira. But Yukina will chase it down all the way to the touchline. And happy enough to go with a throw-in. Tamamira not interested in taking it. She leaves it for Tanade Crook and goes back to her defensive post. Delaney Kenny on defensive duties. Ensor. Back for Natasha Dakic. Long-time Calder United player. Played in 2 Nike FC Cup victories for Calder. Oh, that was a great turn from Spazzato, but the ball wouldn't quite sit for a great work by Sinclair. And Spazzato shoots. And it's straight at the goalkeeper, Taylor Murphy. Terrific work once again from the Spring Hills attackers to just not give the Bentleigh defenders any time on the ball. Spazzato just had to put that either side of Taylor Murphy, and it was 2-0 Spring Hills. She's looked threatening on her first start of the season, Holly. As I mentioned in the preamble, she's come off the bench 3 times this season in the last 3 games. She wasn't in the squad match day 1. Here's another foul going the way of Spring Hills. Is this a foul or a throw-in? It is a foul. We meander our way towards half-time. Can't imagine there'd be too much time added on here. It's been a pretty clean and really event-free first half. Of course, we did have a goal, but not a lot of stoppages to report. Spring Hills are allowed to take a long time to bring this ball back into motion. Eventually they do. Allen. Bentleigh in search of a late equaliser. Allen plays it forward. Kenny is giving chase. Delaney Kenny! And it's clawed away by the sprawling Jenna Ibrahim. In fact, it wasn't clawed away by the goalkeeper. It's just a goal kick. And so a shot just turned wide by Delaney Kenny, one of Bentleigh's better chances of the first half. Just into Tanate Crook, takes a heavy fall on the far side. We're into just the 1 minute of time added on. Is there time for one of these sides to find a game-shaping, game-altering goal? Bentleigh will have a throw-in on the far side. How aggressive are they, I wonder? Ali Torre will take the throw-in. He's been a busy bee out at right back in this first half of the Greens. Back out of play, and that will do us for a first half of football that the home side had majority of possession. Probably had the better chances at goal without creating a real clear-cut opportunity. The only genuine chance at goal we had was an own goal turned into Bentleigh's net after an early free kick that was won by Alexandra Sinclair, and she put it into a fraught position at the near post that the Greens defenders were all lined up but couldn't deal with it. And that is the only goal to tell you about in the first half. Welcome back to Kingston Heath Soccer Complex, everybody. Friday night football in the NPLW Victoria, our only game this evening. Bentleigh Greens and Spring Hills ready to go for the second half. The away side in the white and the pink shorts leading by 1-0. An own goal that Bentleigh scored in the 8th minute separates these two sides. So Bentleigh are playing from behind at half-time for the first time this season. They're on the attack early. Sydney Allen's pass goes right across the 18-yard box. Eventually tidied up by Natasha Dakic. And Bentleigh have actually spent a lot of time this season in front. But for the first time in the 2025 campaign, they're going to have to sort themselves out in the second half and come from behind. It doesn't appear to be any changes that either side have made during the halftime team talk. Not to my eye, anyway. The only player out there on a yellow card is Delaney Kenny. We don't really have any goal scorers to tell you about because, of course, it was an own goal in the 8th minute. Bentleigh poked and prodded and probably had the lion's share of possession in the first half. 5 shots on goal in the opening 45, just 1 on target. Spring Hills had just the 1 shot on goal. That shot was on target. It was a shot from Holly Spizzato. Despite only having 1 shot on goal in the first half, they're in front. And Delaney Kenny was a long way offside. And she didn't quite time her run there. And she still chased it with the vigour of a player who was sure that they were onside. And she was as threatening as always in that first half. Brent Sternberg is my name. We've got James, the cameraman, here with us. Best cameraman in the business. According to him, here's a mistake from Spring Hills. And Sydney Allen, who was offside. And the Bentleigh coaches are up out of their chairs and they're saying, well, that was actually a deflection and not a pass. So technically, it couldn't be offside. Now, linesman on this near touchline says, well, it is. By the way, James is the self-proclaimed best cameraman in the business. That's not my opinion. I reserve my opinion on who the best camera person is. You might be enjoying these pictures from the grandstand side of the Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. We normally are on the other side. But we're in amongst the crowd this evening. The home crowd that are watching in anticipation, hoping that Bentleigh can get back into this match. Jenna Ibrahim actually thought that was a goal kick. The referee in the middle had to remind her to take it where the indiscretion or the offside call was made. Tolios back for Bridges. Now, early indications are that Bentleigh might have moved Sydney Allen a little bit further up the formation. Yamashita, long ball for Olivia Anderson, who was good at times in that first half. She's done ever so well to keep that ball in play. Girolamo bumped as she tried to pass the ball. Fairly, said the umpire. Amanda Stevenson plays it out off the defender and out for a Bentleigh throw-in. And these two teams looking for their second win of the season. Bentleigh won here at home 2 weeks ago, 1-0 win over Brunswick Juventus. Spring Hills won on that same weekend away from home. A 3-1 win over Essendon Royals. And this would be a big win for Spring Hills if they were to hold on to this 1-goal lead or indeed add to it. The only promoted side in the top division this season that I mentioned in the first half. I don't think too many people would have been picking them to stay up this season, although they are a little football club from the western suburb of Caroline Springs. I'll try and get that out. And they do have a lot of confidence and they pack a punch for a team that's only relatively new. One back in midfield by Delaney Kenny. When they trailed at half-time 10 times last season, Bentleigh, they went on to lose 9 of those matches. Girolamo rolling forward for the Stallions. Not able to, well, she was able to shake the challenger coming from behind, Amanda Stevenson, but in doing so lost the football. They did come from behind at half-time once last season, Ange Kutas's side. And that was against, interestingly, the eventual champions, Heidelberg United. Match day 21. They trailed 1-0 at half-time. 2 second-half goals was enough to turn that around for the Greens. Lefebvre, Bridges. Back for Ash Lefebvre. Plays a long ball forward for Sydney Allen. Can't get it under her spell. Tamamura. Oh, rolling forward and still going Tamamura and unloading a shot that was captured by the falling Taylor Murphy. It will go down as another shot for Spring Hills and another shot on target. Yakina Tamamura, her second season at Spring Hills, part of the promotion side last season. She was playing in Taiwan before coming to Australia and linking up with the Stallions. The Spring Hills best and fairest winner last season. She was playing her football in Taiwan for Hang Yuan Football Club. Don't see too many players come from that part, well, certainly that part of the world, but not Taiwan, to Petta. All the way through for Jenna Ibrahim. I should say we do see a lot of players come from the Asian continent, and in particular Southeast Asia, but not necessarily from that country. Here's Sydney Allen. That's a lovely delivery. Amanda Stevenson, her touch was, well, it wasn't that bad, to be honest, but just wasn't able to create enough space to pull the trigger. Jenna Ibrahim racing in. Amanda Stevenson, who was playing for Ringwood City last season. She was with Bayside United before COVID. Here's a nervy moment for the Stallions. Delaney Kenny lurking. Amanda Stevenson tore her ACL when she was here with Bayside United and didn't get to pull on the green shirt, or the orange shirt as it was. Bella Stringfellows providing a nuisance. Sinclair receiving it from Mona Ensor. Forward by Tamamura. Leokopoulos all the way back for Taylor Murphy. And that manic pressing that proved so successful in the first half for Spring Hills, and it caused Bentleigh a lot of problems. It certainly looks like they've done their homework this week, Spring Hills, because Bentleigh defensively last week, particularly in the first half, were at times jittery and at other times deplorable, quite frankly, and playing out from the back. They certainly have looked better tonight, but when Spring Hills have put the press on and tightened the screw, well, they have looked very nervy. Oh, awkward moment there from Leokopoulos. Torre. And Storey. Got to articulate those names clearly so that you can decipher between the two. Two veterans of this league. Caitlin Storey is another one who was playing for Bayside United. Was with Bulleen last year. Bulleen, the cup winners. Turnover. Here comes Spazzato. Lefebvre. Good work from Dakic to make sure the ball didn't make its way to Sydney Allen. Once again, starting the second half confidently, Spring Hills. Here's Tate Crook playing in a more advanced position tonight, in towards the near post, where it's relatively comfortably captured by Taylor Murphy. And Jacinta Tanate Crook started Just the one game last week at left back. Obviously a versatile player starting out on the left wing this evening. Sydney Allen out for Delaney Kenny, who's encouraged to run at Bella Stringfellow to the byline. And the last ditch challenge there from Stringfellow ensures that it ricochets behind for a Bentleigh corner kick. And Bella might have hurt herself in that challenge. In fact, she has, the young left back for Spring Hills, just holding that right ankle. And Bella Stringfellow, who was substituted out of the match last week after just 30 minutes. That was a tactical substitution. This might be one for an injury. They don't really have any defenders amongst their substitutions tonight. They do have Nikki Bozanovsky, who can play a number of positions, but Julia Budiongo is an attacker, as is Sophie Papalia. Rachel Gillies can play anywhere in midfield, and even on a wing, and Emily Tanaka is certainly a midfielder. Bella's back up on her feet, and looks like she may be okay. And in the meantime, it's Bentleigh who make the change, will make a change. Isabella Fernandez is going to join the fray, but not before Bentleigh take this corner kick. The calls from the bench are after this set piece. It was won by Delaney Kenny. It will be taken by Delaney Kenny. They've only got 10 players on the pitch at the moment, Spring Hills. Kenny rifles it into the near post, and eventually it's turned in by the lady who is making her 50th appearance tonight in the top division. Anna Liakopoulos scores for Bentleigh. It's only her second goal in her career in the top division, and at last, on 57 minutes, the Greens have the equaliser. Izzy Fernandez comes on to replace the departed Amanda Stevenson. We'll give the goal to Anna Liakopoulos. It did look like it took a couple of different directions before it ended up in the back of the net, but the bottom line is it's Bentleigh Greens 1, Spring Hills 1. And that's all to play for in the final 33 minutes here. And Bentleigh, who I mentioned a couple of times in the first half, have conceded many a goal from the set piece so far this season, including corner kicks. Bella Stringfellow is back with us, by the way. Finally score from a corner kick. There's a nervy clearance from Ibrahim. Sydney Allen knew that she couldn't make a play on the ball because she was offside. If Tolios had known that, she might have taken possession herself. Bentleigh have sprung to life. Tolios brought down fairly, says our referee. Sydney Allen shaping to shoot. It's blocked by Tamamura. And cleared away by Spring Hills, who all of a sudden are defending and on the ropes. Sinclair and plays it forward for Tanate Crook. Turned away by the goal scorer, we believe, in Anna Liakopoulos. What a delivery it was from Delaney Kenny. Tamamura running out of real estate and out of play. And just her second goal in this, her 50th appearance. And come over from Burundara and spent a couple of seasons in the Football Victoria Academy program. Was a part of the Melbourne Victory Elites program. She was a graduate there, earned a scholarship to train and play Melbourne Victory. Fernandez plays at one speed, Izzy Fernandez, and that is top gear. As I mentioned, Anna Liakopoulos, member of the Team of the Year in the NPLW last season as a centre-back. Doesn't score a lot of goals. That's just her second. And an important one to get Bentleigh back on a level playing field here. And you have to say that is a goal that Bentleigh have deserved. Dakic with the defensive header to Peta. And this game interestingly poised now as we head into the final half an hour. It took Bentleigh a long time to find that equalising goal. They trailed for the best part of 50 minutes or so. Bridges and Anderson clatter into one another. Spring Hills handing in some paperwork. They will be making their first substitutions momentarily. Bella Stringfellow is out there and looks like she's moving pretty freely. There would have been hearts in mouths when she was holding that ankle. An early release here for Kenny. Oh, just a little fumble there on the ball from Dakic. Thought Bentleigh might have been in again. Girolamo back for Tamamura and Yamashita. Sydney Allen certainly looks like she's playing as a lone striker. Started the match in the number 10 position. It's going to be a double change for Spring Hills when the time comes. Ball is out of play. We're going to see Rachel Gillies and Nikki Bozanovsky coming in. Holly Sposato's first start of the season lasts 62 minutes. And it is going to be Bella Stringfellow replaced as well. On comes Rachel Gillies, former Preston Lion. Only returned late last season for Preston for a serious injury. And Nikki Bozanovsky, who made her first appearance off the bench last week in that loss to Burundurra. This her second appearance in the top division. Her 7th season at Spring Hill. She joined the under-13s in 2019. Nikki? She did make 19 senior appearances last season in the second tier. It's a goal kick here for the away side. This ball's going to sit for Alexandra Sinclair. Hasn't had a massive influence in this game outside of that early set piece that resulted in the goal. Here come Bentleigh. Sydney Allen certainly had an influence on this match. For Fernandez, does she shoot from range? She does. It's deflected. She had Delaney Kenny making the run. Might have been better off passing it. Or Tamamura. Ibrahim could have claimed that. Instead, she decided to play it away. Gillies and Yamashita. Gillies' first touch wasn't great. And now here comes Iri Yamashita. Being chased and harassed by Tepeta. Ali Torre comes in to finish them off. And a throw in. Sinclair, they allow her to turn. No, they don't. Liakopoulos was not prepared to allow that to happen. Bentleigh's goal scorer goes into the book, and there is some concerns for Alexandra Sinclair, the Spring Hills captain, who might have landed on the ball there. And she's come off a little worse for wear, the 37-year-old. So Liakopoulos is the second player into the book tonight. Both players in the referee's book wear the green shirt of Bentleigh, Delaney Kenny and Anna Liakopoulos. The immediate concern is for Alexandra Sinclair, who is very slow to make her way to her feet. Spring Hills trainer is out there, tending to the skipper. I'll be hoping that she is okay for many reasons, but not least of which she'll probably be the one charged with taking this set piece. Looks like she might have actually landed on that shoulder, Sinclair. She leaves the dead ball area. She's going to leave this one, I think, for Yamashita. And Natasha Dakic is in the vicinity as well. Dakic lays it off for Yamashita! And Spring Hills score an amazing goal and snatch the lead back at Kingston Heath. Eri Yamashita with her first goal of the season. And what a strike it was. And Bentleigh have been burned by the opposition's set-piece prowess again, and they are indeed behind again. Bentleigh Greens 1, Spring Hills 2. Kenny for Sydney Allen. And it took forever for that whistle to come, but eventually a foul. And now Sydney Allen gets up and is giving the official a bit of a gobful, but potentially an opportunity now for Bentleigh to try and strike from a set piece. All three of our goals that we've had tonight have come from the dead ball situation. Sydney Allen. Can she conjure something here for her side? Wouldn't they love to strike right back after going down from a second time? Dinks it up towards the back post. Ibrahim doesn't quite deal with it, and then it's nodded back towards the goalmouth by Tolios. But a rapid recovery from the Spring Hills goalkeeper, Ibrahim, who jumps on the grenade and saves a potential second goal from going in. And she's slow to pick herself up. And there was actually a foul called in there, so a drop ball situation. Gillies concedes possession. Oh, Torre copped a robust challenge just as she got the pass away. Tolios. Away by Girolamo. And I think our goal scorer there for Spring Hills, Eri Yamashita. She's got her family just to the left of us. I'm sure you heard their shrieks of delight when that goal went in. Sydney Allen. Can she turn and get a shot away? Sydney Allen. She lays the pass off for Tepeta, who was offside. And they've done so well, the Spring Hills defenders this evening, not allowing Sydney Allen to get a clear sight on goal. Just starting to get a little bit frustrated, the Bentleigh players and coaches, with the amount of time that Spring Hills are taking off the clock here. That'll be a foul, you would think. Sinclair bowled over. No. Sinclair gets back up to her feet and cannot believe it. And quite frankly, neither can I. Allen. Oh, on the turn, Fernandez can run. Looking for Kenny. Still Delaney, Kenny. Eventually it's turned away. Good work by Tanate Crook. Bentleigh back in possession. Certainly had a lot more urgency in this second half, Bentleigh. Through to Jenna Ibrahim. Eri Yamashita, her first goal of the season, as I mentioned. She scored 4 last season, 3 of them in the league. Ensor asks pleads for the throw-in and gets her wish. Tanate Crook. Throw-in down the line. Toure's header. Back into midfield. Here is Yamashita. Her goal putting Spring Hills back in front. Bentleigh pick it back up in midfield. Tepeta, though, can't connect with Sydney Allen. Tamamura plays it into the audience. We do have the Easter break coming up next week, so neither of these teams will be in action, but Bentleigh do have one more match to play before the Easter break. Oh, a mistake there from Ensor. Tidied up by Natasha Dakic, who comes gliding in. Yeah, played it forward, I think, looking for Sinclair. Puts her thumb up in appreciation, just wasn't quite accurate enough to pass. Bentleigh will be in Nike FC Cup action at home Wednesday night next week. As we stay with this attacking foray, Fernandez can't get it into the 18-yard box. And again, Ensor and Yamashita. Ali Torre getting in the way. And they've got a clash, Bentleigh, with Bundura United here at Kingston Heath on Wednesday night, the fourth round of the Nike FC Cup. Oh, slip through to Fernandez, who loves to run at the defences. Is he Fernandez? Oh, Jenna Ibrahim made a little bit of a mess of it, but was able to keep it in front of her eyeballs. Fernandez is getting dangerous on the left wing for Bentleigh. They haven't scored multiple goals in a game this season, the Greens. And they didn't score a lot of goals last season. I mentioned only the 21 in 22 games, the fewest of any side in the top flight. They only scored 2 or more goals 3 times last season. So, based on last season's form, the best that they could probably hope for, Bentleigh, is to nick a second here and earn a draw. Do they have 2 goals in them? They've only got about 18 minutes plus whatever we get added on at the end of the 90 to do so. The most goals they scored in a match was 3. They only did that once last year. That was in a 3-0 win over FV Emerging match day 14. Of course, if they are to win, they're going to have to score at least 2 more. Where are they going to come from? And Eliakopoulos with the goal from the corner kick on 57 minutes. 58 minutes, rather. And from general play, they've really only sort of poked and prodded the Greens without creating a golden opportunity. Oh, Tanate Crook copped that ball right in the stomach, and she's gone down. And the Spring Hills folk to the left of us are calling for the play to be brought to a halt. Bentleigh play on in the background. If they score here, Bentleigh Spring Hills will be furious. Kenny for Tolios. Tolios in towards the back post. Flying through the night sky is Jenna Ibrahim to make the save. And eventually we do have a halt to proceedings. Sinclair gives our 4th official a bit of a cook and says, why didn't you call that to an end straight away? You could see that Jacinta was in distress, and now Alex Sinclair's having a chat with the lead official. Of course, the rule states that unless it's a head injury, the official is under no obligation to bring the game to an immediate halt, unless it's clear and obvious that someone has suffered a horrific injury or any sort of a head injury. And Jacinta Tanate Crook comes to the sideline and just catching her breath. I think she's going to be okay. Jacinta, just a 17-year-old. She missed all bar 2 games last season with injury. And she's actually been asked by the official to leave the field of play again. And now she's back. Back to 11 on 11. Bentleigh Greens 1, Spring Hills 2 into the final 15 minutes. Spring Hills looking for their second victory of the season, their second win away from home after beating Essendon Royals away from home a couple of weeks ago. This one's found its way through. Fernandez trying to get it in behind for Allen. And eventually Izzy has to turn it back. Bridges. Lyakopoulos scored just her second goal in this, her 50th appearance earlier. It's parried away by Jenna Ibrahim. She maybe just could have let that run behind for a goal kick. Don't think she was aware of what was happening to her immediate right. Bridges trying to up the ante and get Bentleigh coming forward. Storey concedes a foul. Spring Hills have only made those 2 substitutions. Bentleigh have only made just the 1. Still plenty of fresh legs potentially to be injected into this match. I wonder how keen Bentleigh might be to use some of their squad tonight with that cup game coming up on Wednesday night. Tanate Crook. Oh, great little battle with Kenny. Won by the winger for Spring Hills. Her ball forward, though, is rounded up by Bridges. Bozanowski can't find Yamashita. Zepeda brings it away. There's a little bit of a wayward pass that was designed for Sydney Allen. Tamamura. Tanate Crook. Gillies makes the run ahead of her. Sinclair trying to find her. Back with Taylor Murphy. Outside of that goal that Spring Hills scored from the set piece about 10 minutes or so ago. She's been pretty much a bystander in this second half, Taylor Murphy. Here's Sinclair in midfield, giving directions while she's in possession of the ball. Awkward bounce for Toure, who is almost bundled over there by Gillies. Tolios. Allen. Taken off it by Yukina Tamamura. Bridges. Toure. Bentleigh desperate to try and find a way forward for this second goal. Sydney Allen dropping a little deeper into midfield now. Out for Lefebvre. Being watched by Olivia Anderson. Lefebvre's been taken all the way to the touchline. Back heel for Fernandez. Bentleigh for now retreating. Lyakopoulos. Bridges. Bentleigh are going to make a double substitution in just a moment. Oh, poor pass from Bridges. Tanate Crook. Almost getting in the way there, the referee. Tamamura. Pretty keen for a third goal here, Spring Hills, to sign, seal and deliver the victory. Good work from Yamashita in midfield. Receives it back from Bozanovsky. Here's Rachel Gillies on the left channel for Spring Hills. Whips it, ball into the 18-yard box, but Anderson couldn't get a run at it. Claimed by Taylor Murphy. We're going to get Coco Parker injected into this match for Ange Kutas's side in just a moment. And it looks like it might be Emily Keppins as well. So 2 attacking options. Fourth official just checking, do you want to enter the fray now, girls? The girls are keen to come on. Who's making way here? It's going to be Delaney Kenny, who will be replaced by Coco Parker. And Caitlin Storey will be replaced. It's not Emily Keppins. It is, in fact, Renee Sofronides. So no goal tonight for Delaney Kenny. She's tried hard. The Storey's been good in midfield as well. So it's an attacker. And more of a defensive midfielder in Sofronides in place of a midfielder and an attacker. So more or less sames. Takic's ball into the area claimed by Taylor Murphy. Into the final 10 minutes well and truly now. Spring Hills only 9 minutes and change away from a second victory. And it's a victory that, if it were to come, you could maybe file under crash and bash with Spring Hills. Here's Coco Parker. Sophie Papalias will be thrust into the action as well for Spring Hills at the next stoppage. And Parker back for Regan Bridges and Liakopoulos, whose goal got Bentleigh back into the game early on in the second half. 8 minutes later, a brilliant strike from outside of the 18-yard box from Iri Yamashita gave Spring Hills the lead once again. All 3 goals tonight have come from set pieces. Sinclair, Yamashita, Tamamura, Sinclair. Yamashita's found a little bit of space. It was closed down quickly, to be truthful. Sinclair riding a couple of green shirts, no foul. The Stallions maintain possession. Sophie Papalia remains on the sideline. And is this the stoppage we needed to see Sophie come in? It is. Sophie Papalia will replacing Rachel Gillies, who was only substituted into the match about 15 minutes ago. So Rachel Gillies subbed in and subbed out in the second half. I hope that there's nothing untoward going on with Rachel. As I mentioned, she only returned late last season for Preston after an ACL injury. Certainly doesn't look like she's been impeded in any way. Tolios doesn't have a lot of room to work with. Lefebvre, high ball to the brink of the penalty area. Parker and Papalia crash into one another. That might sit here, or potentially for Tolios. It just wouldn't quite accommodate. Torre misses Coco Parker and out of play. They weren't known for their late game exploits last season. Bentleigh only scored 4 goals in the final 15 minutes of game. Sydney Allen in pursuit. Dakic gets there and coolly and calmly plays it away. But a throw in for Bentleigh. Torre. Sydney Allen attracting a crowd as usual. Works a nice ball into the 18-yard box. Here's Coco Parker. Worked off it brilliantly, expertly by Natasha Dakic. Using all of that experience, 26-year-old. Another former Western United player in the A-League Women's. This would be a great win for Spring Hills. Coming into the season, if you'd said that they would win 2 of their first 5 matches, they probably would have taken that, given the difficulty of their opening 5 weeks, which I alluded to earlier. The referee's bringing this one back for a foul on Alexandra Sinclair. And this will be a result that will take Spring Hills, for now, up into 6th position on the table. Of course, we've got the rest of match day 5 to come, with 4 games tomorrow and 1 on Sunday afternoon. Tamamura. Tanate Crook getting tangled up with Coco Parker. And eventually Parker does win the foul. Bentleigh got to up the ante here. Sophie Papalia just engaging in the dark arts of football. She knew what she was doing, just trying to soak up a few more seconds. Long ball forward for Bentleigh. Yamashita. That was a terrific goal that she scored on the 66th minute mark. A goal worthy of winning any match, and it well might, if Bentleigh can't find a goal. A cheap turnover. Parker. Lyakopoulos. Bridges, who we haven't seen a lot of in this match, receives it back from Tolios. Long ball forward. Parker's going to lash onto the end of it inside the 18-yard box. It was a pretty good challenge. Was it a handball? We play on. It's Coco Parker. Fires it right at Jenna Ibrahim, who makes the save, and every Bentleigh player and official on the bench are out of their seats, screaming for a handball in the 18-yard box. And it looks like the Spring Hills player who was involved in that little fracas, that little moment of contention, has actually hurt themselves. It did look like the player handled the ball when they were falling to ground. I can't quite ascertain which Spring Hills player that is. The referee, I think, was blindsided. They are going to have to make a change here. And so it's Jacinta Tanate Crook, I believe, who may well have hurt herself in that little incident there. She's being helped by Natasha Dakic and the medical crew. And Spring Hills are going to make one last substitution. It's going to be Emily Tanaka who will take her place in midfield. Meantime, the rest of the Spring Hills physios are making their way around so that they can give treatment to Jacinta Tanate Crook, who's just beyond the byline there. They're playing with 10 players at the moment. Spring Hills, can Bentleigh pounce? Torre, they've got numbers forward here, the Greens. Parker trying to shield the ball and bring it down. Eventually she regains possession. Torre didn't quite attack the football as she might have liked. Sinclair, bang, into Lyakopoulos. And Sinclair's copped it in the solar plexus. And I think some of the Bentleigh folk here are just questioning the legitimacy of Alex Sinclair's reasoning for going down. So, just confirmation on that change. Jacinta Tanate Crook coming off. Emily Tanaka coming on. Alex Sinclair's also going to remove herself from the pitch for just a moment because she has to. And because the referee blew the play dead and didn't brandish a yellow card, she does have to come from the pitch. Had it been a yellow card, she would have been fine to remain in the kitchen. So it's Drop ball situation. Papalia. Referee says, Alexandria, you may now regain your place on the pitch. Tanaka. Yamashita. Into second half stoppage time we go. Bentleigh are readying one final change. Don't think our fourth official has let us know how much extracurricular we're playing here. Bentleigh down the left-hand wing. Lefebvre plays the pass back inside. Fernandez to the byline. 5 minutes of stoppage time. Is it a Bentleigh corner? No. Played away by Spring Hills. It's a throw-in and a throw-in only. But Bentleigh maintained possession. Allen. Oh, the dancing feet of the Bentleigh captain. And Crafts across into the 18-yard box. DePetta was outnumbered. Torre turns away. Back for Liakopoulos. Time ticking away for Bentleigh to find an equaliser. It's good work from Fernandez. Allen. Ball forward. Tamamura is just ushering her goalkeeper, Jenna Ibrahim, in to claim the football. They will leave the ground if they can't find this equaliser. Bentleigh thinking about that shout for a penalty late on. They will feel that they deserved. And the official in the middle thought otherwise. It certainly looked like it was a handball in the 18-yard box. I mean, the fact that the player was injured in that moment, it doesn't come into consideration. If a player has handled the ball, they've handled the ball. But the referee didn't see it the way that the Bentleigh players and coaches and supporters saw it. Allen. Can she create one moment of magic for Bentleigh? Papalia turns it away. Emily Kippins is finally coming in. Ali Torre, just as she was about to take the throw in, has gotten the signal. Ali, you're off. So Emily Kippins. Can she provide a moment of heroism here late on for Bentleigh? Parker rides the challenge. They maintain possession in the corner here, Bentleigh. Another throw in. Away by Yamashita. Parker. She's brought down and fouled. And Sydney Allen races over to take the football. Bentleigh know. Well, they've got to be quick here. As I've mentioned a few times, all three goals that we have had tonight have been scored from set pieces. Sydney Allen. 3 and a bit minutes of the 5 that we were promised have tipped away. Bentleigh swarm the back post. Sydney Allen lofts it in. And it's turned in by Bentleigh. And would you believe it? It's Anna Liakopoulos in appearance number 50 with a brace and a goal to rescue a point for the Greens. Extraordinary stuff. Had scored 2 goals in her 49 appearances coming into tonight. Anna Liakopoulos, the most unlikely of heroes for Bentleigh. They do find the equaliser. It's Bentleigh Greens 2, Spring Hills 2. Well, whoever wrote the script for tonight has a wonderful sense of theatre. Anna Liakopoulos, who has been a terrific player in this league for the past few seasons, was in the best 11 last season, not known for her goal-scoring exploits. Comes up with 2 goals, and maybe Bentleigh aren't quite done yet. Sydney Allen Maybe could have done a bit better there. We are into the final seconds of the 5 minutes that we were promised. And a foul for a handball going the way of Bentleigh. Bentleigh will feel like they probably deserve the 3 points here tonight. Haven't had a lot of goalmouth action, but they've certainly had the better of the general play. And they throw the green shirts forward. Bridges long ball. Tolios is there. It's a defensive header. Ibrahim doesn't deal with it. They come back to Sydney Allen, who skies it onto the roof of the netting. And that was the final act of a desperate and frantic finish on a Friday night at Kingston Heath. A night in which all 4 goals come from set pieces. It was an own goal after just 8 minutes that put Spring Hills in front. Bentleigh, it took them 50 minutes to eventually find the equaliser. Analia Kopoulos in her 50th game from a set piece scored for Bentleigh. And just 8 minutes later, Iri Yamashita with one of the goals of the season from outside the 18-yard box put Spring Hills back in front. And then in the 94th minute of the match, Analia Kopoulos in game 50 in the NPLW scored her second goal, and she was the hero in the end. And in the end, a game that was very evenly matched. Bentleigh probably had the lion's share of the possession. There wasn't a hell of a lot of goalmouth action in the match, but a pretty even result. And each team will go away from tonight with a point. Bentleigh steal one at the death with an Anna Liakopoulos goal. As I mentioned, it's the Easter break next week, gang, but Bentleigh will have one more match in the Cup on Wednesday night. We will not see Spring Hills again until after the Easter break, but when they return from the break, they will be back at home, the Stallions, against Football Victoria Academy. And after the Easter break, Bentleigh will be away to the Preston Lions. So match day 5 begins with a 2-2 draw between the 8th and 9th placed teams coming into the match day. Some late drama. Anna Liakopoulos in game number 50, appearance number 50, scores a brace. She'd only scored 2 goals in her previous 49 appearances. I don't think too many people saw that on the script coming to Kingston Heath Soccer Complex tonight. For myself, Brent Sternberg, and our cameraman, James, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed our coverage this evening and enjoy the coverage from round 5 over the rest of the weekend. 4 matches to come tomorrow, all in the afternoon, and then one on Sunday afternoon as well. You can watch them all on the NPLW Victoria YouTube channel. For me, Brent Sternberg, and our cameraman, James, have a wonderful weekend, everybody. The final score here at Kingston Heath: Bentleigh Greens 2, Spring Hills 2.